Hi, this is chapter 6.3, treatment of discounts. In this chapter, we will learn about what is the meaning of discount, what are the conditions to be satisfied for availing discount to be deducted from the value of supply, what should be the condition for discount given at the time or before supply, what should be the conditions that should be satisfied for discounts given after supply, as well as what is commercial credit note. You may know almost all suppliers are giving discounts to their customers. Maybe it is trade discounts or quantity or volume or performance discounts or cash discounts, etc. But all these discounts are not eligible for deduction from the value of supply. We need to comply with section 15 subsection 3 conditions for analyzing for whether the discounts are eligible for deduction from the value of supply or not. So let us go straight away to the conditions to be satisfied for getting deduction of discounts. If the discounts is given before or at the time of supply, in that case, the condition is it should be duly recorded in the invoice issued to the customer. Then discounts can be given and it can be deducted from the value. Then discount given after the supply. See, post-supply discount can be allowed only if there is an agreement between the supplier and the recipient, and it is clearly mentioned in the agreement that is ended before or at the time of supply. Then it is linked to the relevant invoices, and input tax credit attributable to such discount should be reversed by the recipient. So only when these three conditions are satisfied, discount can be deducted from the value of supply as per section 15 subsection 3 for those discounts which are given after the supply. So the essence of all these conditions that there should be a clear agreement before or at the time of supply between the supplier and recipient as per section 15 subsection 3. So let us go to discount given before or at the time of supply. The condition is it should be clearly mentioned in the invoice, and if it is mentioned in the invoice, only on the net price the GST should be paid. Then let us take a case study to understand it clearly. Britannia Biscuit Company gives a discount of 20% on the list price to its distributors. Thus, for a carton in the invoice, the list price is mentioned at rupees 200, on which discount of 20% is given to arrive at the final price of rupees 160. What will be the value of supply on which GST should be charged? The value is 160. Why? Because there is a clear mentioning in the invoice that such a discount is given to the distributors by Britannia. Okay, so GST should be paid on only on 160. Then it is the second point is discount given after the supply. It is not always possible to determine discount before or at the time of such supply. The various discounts given are cash discounts and quantity or volume or performance discount. Cash discount is given when the customer pays the price within the credit period. If he do not pay the price within the credit period, he will not get the cash discount. And quantity, volume or performance discount is based on the volume purchased by the customer during a period. So if he purchase the specific volume in that period, then he will get the volume discount. If he cannot purchase such volume within the period, then he will not get this discount. But in both cases, whether the customer will be eligible for cash discount or quantity or volume discount, it will be clear only when the specific period is over. So in case of conditions for post-supply discounts, we need to check whether there is it in the agreement and whether it is linked with the relevant invoices and whether it is reversed by the recipient. So such conditions should be satisfied. And action to be taken in case of post-supply discounts. First of all, when the supply is happening, the invoice should be issued for the gross values. Discount should not be considered because it is not available to us, whether the party is paying the cash to us within the specific period or whether the party is buying specific quantity oleum. Clear? And later, when such party pays us within the specific period or when the party buys specific oleum of the goods, in that case, the discount will be given. In that situation, we need to issue a credit note. Then, the next step is the buyer should reverse the proportionate input tax credit. And both parties should record in the records as well as they should mention it in the returns filed. So let us take a case study here. Britannia Biscuit Company sold biscuits to Orange Bakers on 15th May at rupees 50,000 and charged rupees 9,000 as IGST at 18%. They had agreed that discount at 2% will be given if makes payment within 1 month of the supply. So credit period is given. We are discussing on cash discount. Orange Bakers had claimed input tax credit in May after receipt of goods. And when the payment was made, it is 10th June. Okay, so the supply was on 15th May. So it is done in 1 month. So whether discount is available or not, it is available for Orange Bakers. So what is the procedure? See, the Britannia Biscuit Company will have to issue an invoice on 15th May on 59,000 on the gross value. Later, when the payment is received on 10th June, discount should be provided. So a credit note should be issued. For how much amount? It is 2% is the discount that is given by Britannia to Orange Bakers. Clear? So in that case, 50,000 multiplied by 2%, that is 1,000 rupees, and we also should add GST. So the amount will be rupees 1180. That is 1,000 is the discount amount given, and GST on this discount amount is rupees 180. That should be provided. Hope it is clear to you. Then Orange Bakers should reverse the proportionate input tax credit. So when earlier the 9,000 input tax credit was claimed by Orange Bakers. But now when the credit note is issued, Orange Bakers should reverse 180 rupees from the input tax credit. And it should be recorded in the accounts as well as it should be given in return filed by them. Then the same should be done in the records and returns filed by both parties. Both Britannia as well as Orange Bakers should do all these procedures. Hope it is clear. Then let us take the second case study. The agreement of Britannia Biscuit Company with its dealers is that purchase of biscuits packets over 1,000 pieces in Diwali month will entitle them to get a discount of 5% per biscuit packet. Okay, so if you buy 1,000 pieces in Diwali month, you will get 5% discount. So that is the offer made by Britannia Company. Then in that case, you need to know the agreement relating to discount was in existence at the time of supply. So it is already clear to both parties, both Britannia as well as dealers. It is clear. There is an agreement. Then discounts can be worked out with each invoice. Okay. So what is the procedure here? First of all, when biscuits are supplied, it should be given at the normal price. Okay. Then later, when any dealer buys more than 1,000 pieces That is a performance level that is needed for getting discount. In that case, Britannia will issue a credit note for the discount offered. That is 5%. Okay. So on getting such discount, the dealer should reverse the proportionate input tax credit, as well as it should be recorded by both the dealer as well as Britannia company. Clear? So it is a volume or quantity discount. So please note that all conditions as per section 15 subsection 3 for either cash discount or for volume discount should be satisfied. Then let us learn about commercial credit note. What will happen if the conditions as per section 15 subsection 3 are not satisfied by the parties? We have already seen which are the conditions. I am not going to explain it again. Okay, but if the conditions are not satisfied, in that case you can issue only a commercial credit note. You cannot reverse the input tax credit given earlier. So there should be a proper agreement. There should be a linkage with the invoices. It should be reversed. All these conditions should be satisfied. Then let us take a case study here. Britannia Biscuit Company sold biscuits to Orange Bakers on 15th May at rupees 50,000. Again Britannia and Orange. Then and charged rupees 9,000 as IGST at 18% per annum. There was no condition that the discounts will be given to Orange Bakers. Okay, there was no clear indication that discounts will be given. Then the company Britannia gives a 2% discounts after negotiation. Okay, so there was a negotiation between Orange and Britannia. Then later after supply, Britannia gave 2% discount. In that case, what should be done? Whether conditions are fulfilled which are prescribed under section 15 subsection 3? No. The agreement was not in existence. Okay. So there is a absence of the clause about discount in the agreement. So what will have to do? The Britannia Biscuits Company will issue the invoice for gross value, that is 59,000. Later, when discount is allowed, they have to issue a commercial credit note. What is commercial credit note? GST will not be there. Okay. So in this case, only 1,000 rupees will be deducted only from the value. There is no deduction from the GST amount. Then Orange Bakers will make the payment of rupees 58,000 only. Okay. So 50,000, 9,000 GST on 50,000, 18% of 50,000, less 1,000 rupees. There is no deduction required on GST on this 1,000 rupees. Because GST cannot be reversed. Why? Because there is no agreement regarding discount. So GST on discounted amount cannot be reversed. So in that case, it has to issue a commercial credit note. Then let us take another example. Britannia Biscuit Company achieved a big turnover in 2020. It reviewed the dealer performance for the year and announces turnover discounts based on the performance slabs. The amount is given as cash back. This discount was an unexpected offer for the dealers. What is unexpected offer? There was no mention about this cashback offer in the agreement signed by the Britannia company with the dealers. So again, this discount, if any given, it was not in the agreement. Then, as these discounts were not known at the time of supply of goods, they will not be deducted from the value of the goods. The company will not be able to adjust excess tax paid from its tax liability. Clear? So in this case, the GST cannot be reversed. Let us take the first point in the circular number 92 bar 11 bar 2019 dated 7th March 2019. Here the first point is staggered discount. Buy more, save more. In case of a staggered discounts, rate of discount increases with increase in purchase volume. Okay, so example is get 10% discount for purchases above 5,000, 20% discount for purchases above 10,000, 30% discount for purchases above 20,000, etc. So these discounts can be given to the customers. So what will be the treatment? See, already such scheme is displayed and announced. So such discounts are shown on the invoice itself. Such discounts are excluded. So it can be deducted from the value of supply. Then coming to the second point, periodic year-ending discounts or volume discounts. These discounts are offered by the suppliers to their stockists, etc. For example, get additional discount of 5% if you purchase 50,000 pieces. Okay. Get additional discount of 10% if you purchase 75,000 pieces in a year. So this is an example we already discussed with the case studies. Such discounts are established in terms of agreement entered into or before at the time of supply. But it is not shown in the invoice as the actual quantity was not known at the time of supply. But there was a clear mention in the agreement. And in counterbalance, such discounts are colloquially referred to as volume discounts. Such discounts are passed on by suppliers to the customer through a credit note. So, as per the conditions mentioned in section 15 subsection 3, these discounts are eligible for deduction from the value of supply. Then, coming to secondary discounts, third point. These are the discounts which are not known at the time of supply. Which are not known at the time of supply and offered once the supply is over. So let us take an example here. Messrs. A supplies 10,000 packets of biscuits to Messrs. B at rupees 10 per packet. Afterwards, Messrs. A revalues it at rupees 9 per packet. Subsequently, Messrs. A issues a credit note to Messrs. B for rupees 1 per packet. So actually, on the time of supply, it was provided at a price of rupees 10. Later, it was a deduction, that is revalued at rupees 9 and issued a credit note for rupees 1. Here, such discounts shall not be excluded while determining the value of supply, as such discounts are not known at the time of supply and the conditions laid down in section 15 subsection 3b are not satisfied. In that situation, we need to issue a financial or commercial credit note only, not the GST credit note. In the commercial credit note, there is no mention about GST and it cannot be reversed by the customer. And the supplier cannot deduct the GST when he issues a commercial credit note. Clear? So in this chapter, we had seen conditions that should be fulfilled as per section 15 subsection 3 for pre-supply discount as well as post-supply discount. And we have discussed case studies for claiming the discount, that is deduction of discount from the value of supply for both pre-supply discount and post-supply discount. As well as we have discussed commercial credit note which do not include GST amount. Clear? So, hope these points are clear. This is practically very important chapter. Thank you.